up, guys? Welcome back to Mission Accomplished. My name is Michelle.
I'm Garrett, and today we will be talking about, I love your hat, our proposal.
Yes, if you're watching the visual component right now, you can see I look kind of crazy, but I felt that I should wear this hat.
I love it.
In honor of what we're discussing today. And if you have already seen our YouTube video, you know we're engaged. Woohoo!
We're engaged, and Michelle likes sparkles.
Yes, I love sparkles. This hat made a few appearances in that video, and I just wanted to wear it today. Is this blinding you?
Right now, we're good. I
can literally see the reflection on like the wall of the room.
I angled
from the hat.
the light so that it wouldn't be right into my eyes. So
there were multiple times on our trip in Bora Bora where Garrett said that I should take the hat off because he was worried I was blinding the other tourists.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it would like project like beams of light all over where you were going. And at points, it did shoot into people's eyes. I'm not going to have you take the hat off. But I think there's a way to respectfully wear the hat in public.
At the time of this recording, released our YouTube video of our proposal yesterday.
Just number 10 on trending. Whoa!
Whoa! We were not expecting the amount of outpouring and love from you guys that we got. So we truly were just trying to make a video, honestly, for ourselves and for our future memories. And just want to say thank you so much for giving us that warmth and love. It has been so much appreciated, especially when we cannot see our own friends and family in person to celebrate. So I am so excited to dive into a bunch of your questions you have for us and give a little bit further insight.
First order of business, we have some housekeeping to take care of from last week's episode.
Okay.
So we said if we remembered, we did. We did not record this after forgetting. We were going to shout out the person who found the secret cowbell sound hidden in the Whose Heist Is It Anyway sketch. Well, congratulations to Jacob Tube HD. You have found the correct spot of the hidden cowbell sound. Your reward is this shout out, because we are not sending any mail or anything during this time. It's not smart.
Oh my God.
So you get this shout out.
Woo!
And
cowbell sounds.
Cowbells. Woo!
Thank you, Jacob, for watching and finding the cowbell.
Jacob Tube HD, who watches us on Twitch, is in the Discord.
Yeah.
Thank you for supporting us, and good on you, Jake.
Okay, so let's get into it. Today we are going to be talking about sharing more details on and answering your questions regarding our engagement, which happened over Valentine's Day weekend. Is that 6 months ago now? 5 months?
The beginning of quarantine.
5 months. No, before quarantine.
Before quarantine.
About a month before quarantine began.
Yeah. Time feels strange. When you think of time in quarantine, sometimes it feels really long. Sometimes I think it always feels long.
Yeah, it really feels like February of this year was a year ago. It honestly feels like a different lifetime. I'm grateful. Excuse me. I'm grateful we had that experience and that life event before the world shut down.
Yeah, when it was happening, there was a thought that was, oh, this could be a very long-term event, the coronavirus.
Yeah.
And I knew I had to make it happen before that. Otherwise, it could have been a year, 2 years, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to or want to do it during that time. I commend everyone who are doing proposals during that time, who are doing their weddings during this time. That is incredible that you're pulling that off. I don't know if I could do that. So I wanted to make sure, and I had the opportunity to do it before, so I really tried to make that happen.
I'm really, really glad you did. And we have been so overwhelmed and overjoyed by y'all's response on our YouTube video. Being in this current time, it has been really difficult to not see family and friends, to even hug our loved ones and be excited about this really big thing.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. Like we want to see our family.
Our family was supposed to come out in April to have like a little engagement party of sorts.
Pandemic got worse, and
Obviously,
then we decided
it got canceled.
It wasn't responsible to have a bunch of people fly in one location from various cities.
Right. And it's interesting. I've heard a lot of people talk about how difficult it is to make memories in quarantine. And because of that, it feels like you're not accomplishing anything. It feels like, am I living my life fully this year?
I have tips for that. So I am a big fan of creating movie-like moments in real life. So it's something as simple as listening to the soundtrack of 16 Candles while we sit on the kitchen island and just look at each other for 15 minutes in candlelight. Yeah, like little things like that take almost no effort to really pull off.
But they take thought and care.
And you remember them. So I think...
Yeah, we know you're wonderful.
No, I'm not saying me. I'm saying... Those
you
types
are very, very good at that.
No,
that's
I'm
one of the reasons I love you.
I'm not just saying me. I'm saying you do that as well. I'm more talking about those types of things and moments aren't impossible to come up with or create for yourself.
No, they're not. But it's really hard to, like, I want to be able to celebrate this with my parents.
For sure.
And
a Zoom
my
conversation
grandma,
doesn't seem to cut it.
It really doesn't. So anyone else who's going through this, missing a graduation, missing any big life event, we definitely feel you to a certain extent, and obviously feel very lucky that this happened before it all. We didn't release the video for this length of time because at first we weren't even sure if we were going to make a video. Do you want to talk about that, Garrett?
Yeah, I wanted to do a video, but my issue was I didn't know how we wanted to do the video, which made me not want to do the video. Does that make sense? Like if we had the perfect idea of how to execute it, then I'd be into it. But we couldn't find the right angle or framing of the video to make it something that I was excited about. For example, there's a lot of proposal videos on YouTube, and that's great. People love watching that. I wanted to put a little bit of our own personality and art into it and make it additive and make it an entertaining experience, but without taking too much of the emotion out of it. And we took a long time. You really wanted to do a proposal video, and I was just really struggling to figure out how to frame it to make it more than just that moment. Mm-hmm. Like, how can we get a whole experience out of it? We did a lot of brainstorming, and together we were able to come up with framing it like a challenge accepted, because we were like, okay, well, what are the most interesting parts of when we tell our friends and family the story? What do we tell them about it? Well, we told them the time limit, like how it was almost like a counter surprise. We talked about all of those like crazy planning events that all added up together to create one big moment. And we realized, oh, well, that's a fun story to tell. And the best way to tell that story is in the format that people already really like on the channel, and that's challenge accepted. And when we decided, yes, let's take our proposal and format it like challenge accepted.
And I like that it was sort of like you doing your own version of challenge accepted.
Yeah, we had a lot of
becoming the host.
We have a lot of comments or people in the Discord, especially the Discord folks, or people who watch our streams. They want me in videos, and so I was like, well, this is how I can give them that. We will do this challenge accepted.
Oh, the large sacrifice you made. Oh,
I've made such
becoming on-camera talent.
Well,
you sound ridiculous.
I know. Well, I didn't really want to become on-camera talent. I like behind the camera because I feel like I have control. For some reason, when I step in front of the camera, I feel like I have to lose control, even though I'm the one saying the things that I'm saying. I don't know what it is about it.
It was interesting directing you because you
were
usually...
great. Well, so Michelle's actually a phenomenal director. She did a lot of work at her time at BuzzFeed, and it really showed. Like, she knows how to get the right bites out of people. So I really enjoyed when I was in front of the camera. I mean, I am now too, I guess, but when I was in front of the camera for the proposal video, the Talking Heads, I felt in very good hands because you would ask me just the right questions to get just the right bites. It was just fun collaborating with you in that way, in the inverse way that we're used to.
It was really cool. Yeah, I guess like in the video you don't see what I was doing behind camera or anything, but it was sort of like a role reversal thing that was really...
It was fun, yeah.
It was fun. So yeah, you guys, seeing your love and support on the video has not only just been really fun and awesome, but it has been... It's felt like having an engagement party in a certain way with a bunch of people that we're not able to see in person. And that was an outcome I wasn't anticipating to...
You didn't think they'd love me?
No, wasn't anticipating to feel the level of warmth and gratitude I feel from everyone who's taken the time to watch and comment and share and cry alongside us. I think that's rare in general in art, and it's really cool to have that experience with you guys. So thank you for being a part of our journey. I also, as I somewhat alluded to in the video, haven't really shared my relationships too much online before being with you, Garrett. And as I mentioned in the video, I mean, there were a variety of reasons for that, whether it was a personal choice of mine or my prior partners. But I don't know. I feel like when we got together and everything, I just wanted everybody to know about you and how much I loved you. And to me, that said a lot. I think there are a lot of people who consciously choose to keep their relationships private, and I totally respect that. I have 100% been there. But it was really exciting to be with someone who not only I was really excited to share with people, because I was like, this is somebody I respect so much and have so much admiration for as a friend and as a partner. And also that you were, willing to be vulnerable in that way.
The point maybe I want to talk about is showing on camera, how much you're comfortable showing on camera, because we're generally pretty open about talking about whatever on camera.
Right, but there was a part of time when you didn't want this to be a video at all. You wanted it to be fully private.
Well, I wanted so this was kind of the compromise that we came up with. I was okay with making a video about the proposal. Once we figured out together the right direction to take it, I was excited about it. The part that I wanted to keep private was what I said to you when I proposed. And I think we had a good compromise in the video, is that you kind of recap that moment. Originally, there was talk of me doing voiceover of what I said. And while I think that is really touching and meaningful and powerful, potentially, I wanted that to be yours and ours. And I'm glad that, honestly, we kept it that way, because I'm willing to show people us and us being authentic. But then also, there are things that I just want between us that like only we know, and that you get to enjoy. And not because I'm embarrassed about what I'm saying or it wouldn't make sense to anybody else.
He knocked it out of the park for anyone curious.
Well, thank you. But I just wanted that to be for us. So I'm glad it worked out that way. It's also another reason why I strongly didn't want a video recording of the proposal itself. So if you notice, it's just a bunch of still photos. We had the option of doing video, and
We had the option, and you chose not to?
No, it would have been difficult to have the option. It would have required it would have been another person, because you can't. It was either like we had
like it
one
would have
person,
revealed the surprise.
Yeah, and it would have either been two people, one photo, one video, or you just get video and no photo.
Oh.
At the end of the day, I know photos are going to be way more flexible and have more versatility in our social media, in our home, like photos on the wall, just having photos.
And they turned
really
out
important
amazing.
To me. They turned out amazing. Damien, such an amazing photographer. The video is cool, but also was only really going to be useful for maybe the proposal video and watching it. Like I can't hang that video on the wall. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you can take stills of it, but it's not the same as the high quality shots.
And I agree. It probably would have ruined the surprise element.
It probably would have ruined the surprise element, and that's something I really wanted to keep a surprise until the moment, because that reaction was so genuine of yours. That makes the pictures for me. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want necessarily a video because, again, I would have felt forced to show it in the video that we put up. And I personally just didn't want that moment. The moment that you experienced, only you will ever get to experience. The people at home will ever really get to see that moment play out the true way it did. And to me, that's important. I know you might not agree or other people might not agree.
No, I agree.
But that's my feeling on it. You're the only one in the world who gets that moment.
I know. I think that's really
special.
Cool.
I think that's special.
I was just really excited to create a video because again, like I mentioned before, you're someone I want to share with everybody, and I respect and value you, and I was just excited about it, and I thought the story was just so crazy.
Once we brainstormed and we got the story together, I was like, okay, this can be a video.
It was nuts.
It was a great opportunity to inject our personalities, and it was fun.
I was surprised. I mean, I didn't really expect too much in the response or viewership or anything, because whenever I have made videos that are just about me or vlogs that aren't hinging around something that's a highly searched term,
like personal life events, rather than focusing on you training for a specific thing, right? Okay.
Whenever it's that, I feel like it doesn't perform as well, and that's fine. I mean, I didn't really care about that. Truly, I just wanted a video of us at this age with the voices we currently have, retelling this story so that our family could see it, our kids can see it. And it's also just been really nice, since we can't celebrate with family, that they have the video.
That's a great point. Truthfully, just being in quarantine and having the video for this time is really amazing. So I do thank you for pushing, almost forcing us to come up with a direction that works, that we're happy with. And also thanking you for allowing us to find that and not just throw up a vlog of it just to throw it up. Mm-hmm. I'm glad we took the time to make it into its own art piece.
I mean, it's a balance. There's the temptation of, let's start filming while we're here in Bora Bora on vacation. Like, let's film our thoughts and stuff. And I'm really glad we didn't. I mean, some people choose to do that, and that's their choice. That's totally fine. But I really appreciated how, we didn't even tell anybody for several hours. Yeah. We just enjoyed an entire day with this secret to ourselves.
It was like we shared it with family a few hours after, and then social media was a day or so after. We just kind of kept it. We had a day of just only we knew about this thing. And that was one of the best days of my life, was the morning that I proposed to you, and then only us feeling the feeling of being engaged for a day before the rest of the world knew.
Which is really interesting. Wait, what?
Except when I proposed to you, there was a woman.
Oh my God!
Butt crack of dawn.
Oh my God!
Laying on a lounge chair on the beach at the spot that I proposed to Michelle.
She was just reading some romance novel.
She's reading a book, and after the proposal, she looks up and goes, "Did you just get engaged?" And we're like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh my God, congratulations. I just missed it. Oh my God."
And then you said, Well, you're the first person to know.
Like, you're the first, other than Damien, the photographer, you are the first person to know about this. She's like, I'm honored. That was really funny. So she knew, she was in that group of elites that had the scoop. But other than that, nobody else really knew for like a full 24 hours, which is really awesome. I know people suggest that. Like I've heard that, like, oh, don't tell anyone. Like just take it before it's on social media and you tell your friends, like just take a day for yourself to enjoy it. I forget who suggested that to me. Probably my parents. But I'm really glad we take that. And I recommend if you are recently or about to be engaged, think about doing that too, because I think it's healthy.
Yeah.
So let's dive into some Q&A in this new section that I like to call questions and answers about weddings. No, engagement.
Yeah.
Engagement.
Okay. So I posted a little like question queue on my Instagram.
My prediction is that there are 5% of the questions are about children.
Yeah, the number 4. Nate's asking, baby coming? Oh my God.
Here's the thing, guys. I want to be a dad. So, yeah, we're going to have kids. Plural, singular, we don't know. Right now, no. In a little bit, maybe. We want kids. Or a kid.
Are you ready for the first question?
I think you should weigh in on that question.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't just ignore
I definitely want kids. Every other day I'm like, I want a baby.
Yeah, you're a little baby crazy right now, which is very exciting to me.
It's baby and dog.
And dog. I think we do dog first as like
that
training.
Makes sense.
So we are prepared to have a human child. I was just imagining, well, we talk about this a lot, what our kid is going to be like. They're going to be such a nerd. That's what they get from me. What do they get from you? Tell them.
Hopefully math.
Math. So a huge nerd. We got a big nerd coming for you guys, YouTube.
Okay, whatever. Okay, so
whatever. It's just our child.
I'm genuinely very excited about that. Pregnancy, absolutely terrified, but cute baby. If our baby can be anywhere near Gray from TikTok, baby Gray on TikTok, if y'all know who I'm talking about, it's the cutest baby and the sweetest and the most polite baby in the world.
I want a polite child. I think
like Gray.
When little kids or babies are polite,
it's
a good baby.
Oh my God. Literally, so Gray and Mama, which is this TikTok account of this mother and her, I think he's 2 years old, son. He just says, "Thank you, Mama." Oh my God, he's so cute. Okay.
You're going to hear that soon enough.
Stop. Oh my God. Okay.
All right, hit us with these questions.
I might not pronounce these correctly, but thank you for submitting. Ayuno Karstinen asks, were you both on the same page about getting married? Had you talked about it before? Yes.
We talked about it a lot.
All the time.
Michelle really wanted to get married. I really wanted to get married. You
for
said
a while.
That interview, you were like, did Garrett propose to me yet? So.
And that was like almost a year before.
Mm-hmm.
We were definitely on the same page. I feel like also we were definitely on the same page.
What was that hesitation? There was a pause there.
Well, I was going to say when we got together, that was like, we were pretty much like, we're going to get married.
Yeah. When we were dating, we knew it was going to end in marriage, which made us very confident in the relationship, which is great. And it was just a matter of when's the right time and how long, that sort of thing. And
I feel like we knew pretty early on too, because I don't know. I mean, I like, again, I've mentioned this, but you're the first person I've been with where I could envision you being a dad. I mean, you're also the first person I've been with who's actively said, I really want to be a dad, which is so cool and exciting.
My dream.
I know, that's so cool. And I mean, your interest and excitement about that and about just life in general and all of the wonderful things that come with it. I was like, oh, I haven't thought too much about marriage before in any other situation because I couldn't really realistically imagine it. I mean, before I was in multiple long-term relationships, multiple year relationships. Wow. And I mean, I feel like I knew pretty early on that I at least wanted to try.
Yeah, I knew. It was, you know when you know. I was pretty confident in it. And, yeah, we're just going to have a beautiful little mixed baby running around.
Yeah! I'm excited. Okay, so next question.
What are we
my
naming
God.
the kid? Well, glad
Garrett!
you asked. I was thinking maybe something based off of D&D lore would be really cool. Like Xanathar would be a cool name.
Xanathar?
No?
It sounds really cool.
We'll workshop it.
Okay. I'm not talking about this right now. This is going too far. All right. So what are your wedding plans considering COVID? So we actually, because this happened in February, we have had a little bit of time to begin wedding planning. We've actually begun filming for that. Obviously, that video won't come out for a long time.
If you happen to see all of the other podcast episodes, we mention it sporadically throughout, just little blips. And if you string all those thoughts together, you will learn. Yes, we're in the middle of planning, but COVID makes it hard. So
yeah, we chose a venue. We have an amazing wedding planner named Danielle, who we're working with and very excited about.
We have been filming.
We've been filming
stuff. It will become a video because we got to write off as much as possible. Please watch the ads.
Yes, weddings are so expensive. But basically, we have a date chosen for next year. But we
don't have to push it.
Yeah, I mean, originally we were thinking next year, but like in the springtime. And quickly we realized that COVID may be staying around longer than we'd like it to, and more than anything, we want everyone who comes to the wedding to feel confident in their choice to come, feel comfortable, and have it be a full-on normal experience as much as possible. I want people to be able to dance and laugh and hug each other. And that has not been possible for almost 5 months, and we don't know when it will be possible. So we chose a date in the second half of the year. But even that, we're like, I'm growing a little bit more nervous as the days go on.
We talked about this a little bit on the Twitch stream the other day. We didn't want to any one of our relatives or friends to sacrifice health and safety to come to a party that we're throwing.
Especially like our grandparents, you know?
Absolutely not. So yeah, we're not comfortable with that. Doesn't feel right to us. So we put it pretty far in advance to make sure. But now, you know, we're seeing, who knows how long this will be. I think we'll know once we get into phase 3 of like the vaccine process of how much time we will need before. I think it's like 60% of the world needs that vaccine for this to really make sense.
Oh my
so
God.
we'll see how that goes.
We will.
We didn't anticipate most of people being dumb and not following protocol.
Sure. Question for you, Garrett. Oh, and by the way, that last question was from Abigail Marie 22. Thank you. Next question from Bunny0163. Garrett, how hard was it to keep the proposal a secret?
All right, so there's 2 phases of this. The phase before Bora Bora and then the phase during Bora Bora. So I'll answer both. Before, well, here's the thing. I was planning on doing it in Thailand, so it wasn't too hard because it was so far in the future still. And I'll be honest, I think Michelle saw it coming in Thailand. I think once we got to Thailand, you were going to be like, okay, this is probably going to be the moment. So I didn't have that pressure of the big secret, being spoiled. So it actually wasn't difficult before Bora Bora. However, once we got on the plane, that is when I started becoming terrified. So it was really hard to hide this secret. One, because I just wanted to be like, we're going to get married this weekend, so you knew. And I was like,
no, we're not getting married this weekend.
Sorry, not married.
Oh my God.
No, sorry, engaged this weekend. This is crazy. And I'm like, I want to tell you so you can wear exactly what you want for the photos, so you can just be ready and prepared. Like, I wanted you to know all these things.
I know, I was in my bathing suit because I thought we were going swimming or like after breakfast.
I think you look great. Looks awesome.
Thank
it looks
you.
very fitting of the location. It was hard. I just wanted you to know with me because it would have been cool. But also, I know how much you enjoy surprises. So for this particular one, because I knew I had the element of surprise, and it's really hard to surprise you. Very hard to surprise you. So I knew if I could pull this surprise off, which is the one thing you would be so keen on predicting when it would happen, that like, if I could pull off a surprise here, it would be worth it. Now, the second way it was difficult was because the ring box was very thick. And I know this is a common story, hiding the ring box in a pocket or whatever. Yeah, well, it was in my shorts through the entirety of the photo shoot.
Prior to the proposal. So a lot of those photos you guys see in the video were actually taken before.
I might enhance a photo, and you can see in this photo right now, you can see the ring box in my pocket. Like, there it is.
Oh my God.
And I'm just sitting there next to Michelle like, I hope she doesn't know it is this. So that was really difficult for the physical aspect of, I thought it was obvious it was there in my pocket the whole time. So yeah, that was, and just moving it between my things in the hotel room because I'm like, I had to stick it in a place where you're never going to go in. So I ended up choosing in my shoe. So I had a pair of shoes.
You put it in your shoes? I never knew this.
I had a pair of shoes in the hotel room that I didn't really wear. I brought a pair of shoes just to hold the ring during the trip. So I never wore them.
Oh
and
my
I put
God.
them in my suitcase.
I'm literally finding this out right now.
Put them in the toe of my shoe because I'm like, well, you're never going to look in there. And if you like turn the shoe upside down, it won't fall out because I like lodged it in there. So that was how I hid it from you.
Oh my God. And you purchased the ring 10 months prior.
10 months prior to the engagement. And it would have been even longer if we went with the Thailand trip. But
how did you wait so long? I wouldn't have been able to wait so long.
I didn't want to wait so long, but there were many times I almost proposed before in different ways. One of them being karma, I think we talked about on the podcast.
Like, you have to tell this story.
Well, I told it on the podcast, but there was on a earlier episode, there was a time where I almost proposed on the set of Karma while Michelle was like doing an episode, and it would have been a thing where I arranged for like a fake scene to be recorded, and that way we have like all these cameras rolling and your reaction. But you were so in your element when you were there that right. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to mix this and work. Even though I thought it would have been cool to like your first huge show on network television, like, it'd be really cool to commemorate that moment with our engagement. But then I realized, well, that deserves its own thing. I didn't want to mix these two things. That's your own thing. You deserve to celebrate for that and that alone, that accomplishment. And I wanted this to be its own separate moment. So I decided against that for various reasons. Didn't have the same feeling that I wanted it to, like, sentimentally. So, but yeah, it was hard waiting 10 months with it, just hiding in my D&D stuff.
I'm glad you did, though. Obviously, I love how it turned out. I do love surprises. You are correct.
It is hard to surprise you, though. I've tried many times, and sometimes I do.
You're pretty good. You're the most successful of anyone.
We're both good at surprising, I think. Mm-hmm. The only difference is I don't like surprises.
You say that, but then
I like knowing what's going on.
So you didn't like it when I said we're going to Bora Bora in 2 days.
Oh no, that was great, but like the gift was amazing. That was one of the nicest things anyone has ever done for me. But I like knowing things ahead of time, which is why I was so concerned when you told me. Because, well, look, it made me have to plan a proposal within 2 days. But it worked out in everybody's favor.
Oh, my God. Okay, next question. So these are, I'm going to combine two from Abby H101 and Ellen Hodginson. Were you at all suspicious / were you curious when there was a photographer that suddenly had a ton of extra time? No, I wasn't. I mean,
It fooled you.
I don't know. Maybe I'm really gullible.
It was literally Valentine's Day weekend. And he's like, yeah, no one decided to show up to the photo shoot.
Well, it was at 8 in the a.m.
I know. I figured if I made it.
Morning.
So Damien and I planned to, we had a couple of things. I want you to answer this fully too, but we chose 8 a.m. because we figured, oh, everyone's going to be sleeping in this morning because it was like the day after Valentine's Day or something. And it was like, oh, people are going to be sleeping in. And the excuse was, yeah, no one got up this early. They're probably going to make the 12 o'clock shoot. So you guys.
I believed it.
Yeah.
I believed it. I mean, I didn't even care. I mean, I was so excited just taking pictures and having fun.
Maybe talk about why taking the photos was so important. Like why, when you got that as a gift, that was like, you thought of it as, oh, this is the gift of this trip, was like this cool photo shoot.
Yeah, I believe that because I enjoy taking pictures. I enjoy photo shoots. It's a thing we do often.
But you had one request going to Bora Bora.
Oh, I did. My one request was, I really want a nice picture of us in Bora Bora.
Like you were very adamant. You're like, if there's one thing that we get out of this trip, I want a really nice photo of us that we can like put up on the wall or something.
Yeah. And so I believed that the photography was like, just here's your Valentine's Day gift. We're going to take some pictures that are taken by a professional photographer, not a tourist. And of course I bought, like, okay, people are sleeping in the day after Valentine's Day. It makes sense to me. I wanted to sleep in.
I remember the morning of and watching. I got up, like I got up super early and I couldn't go back to bed. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting engaged today. And just looking at you sleeping peacefully, having no idea, not a care in the world.
So I mean,
so you had no idea. There wasn't even like 1% of you.
Well,
that
there
was
have been other times where I've been suspicious of like,
what are those times? Do you know specifics?
Like cliche things, like when we went to your family's house for Christmas, or I mean, even I remember last year, 2019, when you surprised me with the trip to Paris. There were so many people in my DMs who thought that you were going to propose to me then. We hadn't been together super long at that point. And you actually told me on the day of, I'm going to be honest with you, this is just a gift. I'm not proposing because it's too early for me to propose. And I appreciated that. I just
wanted you not to be thinking it was happening the whole weekend. And like, that would be also and then for it to not happen, you would just be the trip wouldn't feel the same if that's how you felt the whole time. It would have been weird. So I just wanted to let you know.
I mean, there have been other times, like there was never truly actually a time where I was like, ooh, this is the moment. I don't know. But I mean, Thailand, I did think about Thailand at one point, but even then I don't even know with you. I just knew whatever it was going to be amazing. So I had to have faith in that. Okay, next question. We sort of answered it earlier, but I do want to talk about this. Scary22 asks, has it been hard to plan a wedding since quarantine hit? How have you been doing that? So we can talk about how we found our venue and
it's really difficult because you can't go anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the normal things like going to cake testing and whatever. For a long time in LA, restaurants were completely shut down. Now they're like semi-functioning.
Now they're closing again.
I don't even know. So in order to find a venue, the first thing we found actually was a wedding planner. We spent a month interviewing various wedding planners because We're in the event industry in a way by making videos and productions. And I know as a producer and someone who has to do a lot of crazy producing and making wild things get pulled off, I knew that we need somebody really good in the driver's seat. And so when we were interviewing our wedding planners, we were primarily looking for a really good producer. And so that took a minute to find, and we ended up going with this woman named Danielle from Orange Blossom Special Events, not sponsored. She's amazing. And we really liked her because she was formerly a production coordinator for film and TV. So I knew that she could handle the crazy and also understand us filming, not just on the day of the wedding, but also throughout the process. She's been awesome so far. We started working with her, and her team put together this massive spreadsheet of venues. I mean, we talked about kind of what we were looking for, and from there we picked our top 3, I want to say, and then we went and we only ended up seeing one, and we were like, oh my God, that's the one. So we have the venue and the date because those are the most important pieces to lock in first.
And when we do these planning events, they're all COVID protocol friendly. So we find a way to only meet with one person, distant, normally outdoors actually, which has been a huge.
So we have only met Danielle in person once, and it was at the venue, which is primarily outdoors. And we followed all of the COVID health and safety protocol set forth by the film industry. So, I mean, it's been harder. I think it will be more difficult as we approach the date if things continue to stay this locked down.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we as a society will develop a better protocol moving forward so that we can more easily accomplish our filming. Regardless, worst case, we can manage in the current protocol because we did it.
We're doing a lot of like,
it's a little bit more expensive.
Pick the catering menu, pick this, but obviously going to buy and choose the wedding gown, I want to go to the boutique. I want my mom to be able to be here and fly out and be a part of that. That won't happen for a while. So as of now, we're like, okay, but there's definitely going to be a point where we're either going to have to compromise how we plan the wedding or push it back altogether.
Luckily, it's far enough, we think, that we will be able to plan more normally the closer we get. So right now, we're doing mostly like things that we don't have to do in person. So that could be picking the videographer or photographer, all these different things that we don't need to be in person for, which is really great. Mm-hmm. And there's not too many of those choices we have to make yet, based on how far the date is. But, every month that passes, it gets a little bit more like, okay, maybe we do need to check this out now. So it's been very hard, but so far manageable.
Jen Erickson, 22, asks, how long did it take to call each other fiancé instead of boyfriend and girlfriend? I mean, it's
1
instantly.
minute.
It's so exciting. I think there were a couple other questions asking this, but basically, does it feel different now?
Yes, it does.
It does. I don't know how to explain it, especially when you like love someone to the moon and back, and then having a proposal and just calling each other fiance instead of boyfriend and girlfriend.
We never.
I don't know why, but it's really hot, and first of all, and then second of all, it feels different. When
before this, we stopped calling each other boyfriend and girlfriend because it started feeling not significant enough for our true relationship. So we just referred to as our partner, my partner Michelle or my partner Garrett. That felt at least more accurate to the weight of our relationship. So when we did get to upgrade to fiance, it felt really, really good and fancy.
It's like fiance. It sounds cool.
Yeah, we definitely became one of those annoying couples that were like, let's just slide in, oh, my fiance, as much as possible in conversations.
Well, we only got to do that for about a week because then we didn't see
I do
anybody.
it on Zoom. I do it on text. I do it all the time. I do it whenever I can. And if that offends you, if that is annoying to you, fuck you, because I like saying it, because I like being in love. So deal with it.
Yeah, it's really fun. Why does it change? Because one could argue, you should feel that way before. Or
Nothing truly changes. It's when you say the word, it's a reminder, I think, of the next step.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, we already knew we were going to get married. We already felt that way. There's just something weird about, I don't know, not weird, but like, it just feels different for some reason. I don't know what it is. Even though we don't feel necessarily it doesn't feel like any stronger than it did before. It just feels like a new version of it, which is fun. And it's completely, it's a social construct, really. But like,
it is.
It works.
Oh my goodness. I mean, it definitely is a social construct. But it's fun because it's sort of like, it feels almost like you're having a slumber party and your parents don't know or something. I don't know. It feels like you're sort of like getting away with something.
Agree with.
Yeah.
It like kind of doesn't make sense, but also I do get that feeling. So maybe it does make sense. Yeah, it feels like it feels like we're pretending to be adults even though we are adults. You know what I mean? Like that. I don't know what that is, but it feels like that.
Yeah, and of course, like once the resort found out, they at every meal had some sort of elaborate dessert champagne for us.
Yeah, they saw your Instagram post about it, so they sent us a little dessert.
Yeah, and it's really fun. It's fun. It's really exciting and yeah, while I mean we already lived together, like a lot of those I guess I would say like big physical changes to a relationship we had been through. So moving in together, meeting each other's parents, we've done all of that already. Mm-hmm. Really all it was a title change. And I think it was just fun because it was fun.
I'll say this. I think the title change does change things because imagine when you get your doctorate and now you are Dr. whatever.
Sure.
I think you feel when you get to say that there, or being knighted as a sir. Like there's something that does feel grand about it. And in this case, even though you're not like accomplishing a school degree, you're accomplishing a social dynamic or relationship with another human being. And why can't that have the same value as going to school for a certain amount of time?
Okay, I can't find who asked the question, but someone was basically asking, I think several people actually were asking if we're going to have some sort of mixed cultural Indian wedding, because my parents, if you saw in the video, they had 2 wedding ceremonies back to back, a Christian wedding and a Hindu wedding, which I think was really, really beautiful. Mm. So people want to know, what are we doing?
Tell them.
Okay, so I think we're going to keep this to ourselves primarily, but
give them a tease.
We are trying to incorporate elements of both of our heritages.
I think the answer is, we're not going to do both. It's going to be one that is sort of a
celebration of both of us.
Yeah, but not 2 different ceremonies. Right. Like not the Nick Priyanka version because
exactly.
Sorry guys, we can't play enough ads to fund that. It's just not possible.
Oh my god.
So
well, not only that, but also I
just wanted one. I want one ceremony. One awesome.
You don't want like a sophomore slump.
Not that those would be, but like that's just our personal preference.
I'm totally kidding. Yes. Did the ring fit? Violet Raindrops _me asks.
Interesting.
Yes, because you showed the string situation, so I can answer this question. The ring was very, very close.
Very close.
Very close.
So the answer is no.
I'm very impressed. It was just slightly too big, so I did end up
too
getting
big than too small. Because
yes.
at least you could, and that's what I figured. When I measured it, I was like, I'm gonna just do just a hair bigger, just in case I miscalculated, just to make sure it would fit.
Yeah, but I did. Like as soon as we got back, we went to a jeweler and I had it resized so I could fully wear it, because the last thing I want is that slipping off.
Almost worked.
Yeah. So how did you feel? This is a question for me. I'm not sure if anyone asked it. But I think it's really interesting because some couples go ring shopping before the engagement or the proposal. And some couples discuss, honey, what do you want in a ring?
Well, I had asked you before, and your responses were always like, I have no idea. I haven't even thought of that before. And then there was no further discussion. It was just, I felt like.
I think you wanted it to be a surprise.
I did. But I wanted you to, I wanted a direction, but it seemed like you kind of wanted to leave it up to me. And when I got that gist, I was like, okay, great. I can then be confident in my decision that you are letting me or allowing me to have full, creative control over this thing, which is very scary because it is your thing that you are wearing forever. So there was a lot of pressure there, but ultimately, I knew I was going to be able to find the right one. It was like, how long would it take? The hardest part was that choosing between silver and gold. And what I went with was a two-toned approach because you wear both silver and gold jewelry often.
Silver?
It's a mixture of both in your wardrobe. So I was like, well, I can't really pick one or the other because you don't lean a certain direction. So that wasn't easy. And I wanted something that you could have wore. You could wear with any of your other jewelry, whether it was silver or gold. It works with both, which I really like. But then I realized, well, I want the attention, the focus to be on the sparkle aspect. So that's why I went with that. I loved it. When I saw it, I was like, okay, I'll look around the rest of the store and stores for other options, but I always came back to this one as, okay, I think this is going to be the one. So,
shout out to South Hills Jewelers in
Thanks
Pennsylvania. For helping. We could probably take one more question.
One more final question. This is the final round. Michelle, hit us with that juicy Q. That's what the segment can be called. Juicy Q's.
That sounds weird.
Do you guys like Juicy Q's? I think it's a horrible name, and that's why we're going to roll with it. Title? Sound effect? Juicy Q's.
This is a good question.
A juicy Q.
So for Garrett, from ANFRE3SH, for Garrett, even though you knew she would say yes, were you still nervous? And why, if so?
Yeah, I knew she would say yes, so I wasn't nervous about her saying no at all. That was not even a thought that crossed my mind. That was nice. I was nervous about surprise being spoiled, but I already talked about that. But I was also nervous about performing, being able to say what I wanted to say. Because before the proposal or before the moment happened, I had in my head what I wanted to say. And I had okay, I could go this long, but I want to keep it short and sweet. It was almost like writing vowels in a way. I was trying to come up with this perfect combination of words. I was mostly nervous about remembering that and being there, and I was also worried about just crying the whole time and not being able to say anything, which I did do. I did cry a lot. So that was my biggest point of not anxiety, but nervousness. Will I be able to perform and say what I need to say confidently?
And you knocked it out of the park. It was insane.
I'm glad. But I did a lot of crying, but I think that's healthy.
And it was really sweet. And, it's crazy because I'm not a girl who has a wedding Pinterest. I've always thought like, oh, weddings, they're expensive. You know, like just the concept of marriage is scary. And it's really, I feel very lucky, special, grateful, lucky, grateful that I found you. And while none of the things that you said when you proposed were new information to me, hearing it in that moment and you down on one knee, it was really powerful because it was like there was no doubt in my mind. And sometimes I feel like you can feel 100% about something, but you won't like really know until you're in the moment. And I think that's why the proposal meant so much to me, because when it was happening, I was like, this is it. This is it. This is how I know, because I feel this way in this moment. And so I'm really happy that you did propose in the way you did. What a great start to our day. I feel all like lovey-dovey.
Thanks
and
for those.
I just was reminded of how ridiculous I look in this hat.
Thanks for those juicy cues.
Oh, yes.
That's sticking. Wait,
So
say
much.
it. Say it.
Juicy cues.
Juicy cues. Juicy cues. Everyone loves the new segment, Juicy Cues, which will now be reoccurring.
Well, thank you guys so much for all of your wonderful questions, for your love and support, and for being
Juicy Cues.
Okay, sure. Juicy cues. And for being a part of our journey. It means so much to us. If you are new here, please give us a like and a subscribe and a follow. We'll also leave our other handles below so you can see more of our engagement photos. And if this is your first time hearing of our engagement, be sure to check out the YouTube video as well. If you made it to the end of this episode, congratulations. Mission accomplished. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
See ya. Goodbye.